Hey again, guys. So I want to talk first a little bit about my self-evaluation using the QLF. And what I came to realize is that maybe I do some of these things, but I might have been doing it a little bit intentionally, but some of these things I don't do. For example, with the QLF, there were some things that were like, let me just pull it up real quick. Um, Understand gender as flexible, opens up space for students to self-define. We chose an agender, um, pronouns, names, understands gender as a construct that has continued to be affected by intersecting factors and things like that. It brings me back to I don't have my own classroom right now. I did a lot of subbing last year and I worked as a paraprofessional this year, but it brings me back to this long-term subbing experience that I did in a kindergarten classroom where there was this little girl who I'll just give first name, but her name was Charlotte, and she didn't dress like all the other girls. She was a little bit more on the tomboyish side, and kids started to realize that a little bit, but she came up to me one day and she goes, "Miss White, can you call me Charlie?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll call you Charlie." And so in class, I would, like after reading the story, she had her hand raised or anything like that, I would call her Charlie, and the boys and girls started to pick on it very quickly, and they would raise their hand and be like, "Miss White, her name isn't Charlie, that's a boy's name," or "Her name's Charlotte," and they would giggle to themselves, and you could see her start to kind of get a little upset about how they're treating her. And so I kind of took it in the situations of, this is Charlie and this is who she wants to be, like that's how she wants to be called, that's what she feels comfortable being called. And I probably said it, I know I said it much better in the classroom, I just can't remember how I worded it. And the kids all looked at each other and they're like, "Oh, okay," and they started calling her Charlie. And it was interesting because at playtime, they had free choice time at the end of the day. She usually, before all this happened, she would just kind of play by herself a little bit. There weren't many kids that included her in different things. And after that conversation of like, this is who she wants to be and this is how she wants to be called, she kind of got more involved with the kids, and the kids kind of invited her to do different play areas and stuff like that. So it was actually really nice. But I definitely think there's still a lot of work I need to do using the QLF, but I think there's little things that I've done and that I'm aware of. With that being said, the text that I chose to talk about, I feel like is a more direct text talking about gender norms. The text is Jacob's New Dress by Ian and Sarah Hoffman. It's actually a really cute story. It's about this little boy, Jacob, who loves to play dress up, and when he plays dress up, he likes to be the princess. And whereas the other kids in the classroom, the boys play those typical roles of dinosaur, and the girls do the more girly things. And there's a boy who kind of is a little bit of a bully to Jacob for doing these kinds of things. And Jacob goes home, and Jacob talks with his mom about it and how he wants to wear a dress. And mom has him try on a dress, and he's like, "I want to wear it to school." And mom's kind of like, no, that's not a dress you wear to school. It's too nice to go to school. She was kind of like thinking of different ways that he won't wear a dress to school. And so he decides to make his own dress. A very makeshift thing that he calls like a dress thing. And he wears it to school, and he gets bullied pretty hard for wearing it to school. And the boy that was kind of being mean to him, these are like little children in this book, like rips him off of it, and, gets really sad, and he goes home and cries to mom about it, and they end up making, him and his mom end up making a real dress, not a makeshift one like the one that he made. They sew a real dress together, and Jacob is so proud of what he has made. And he goes up to his dad, which his mom and dad have kind of been just like on the more, no, you don't wear a dress to school side, without telling him. And he goes up to his dad with the dress on, and he's so proud of it, and he goes, "I'm gonna wear this to school tomorrow." And his dad, he kind of like, Jacob gets a little hesitant because he kind of sees the look on his dad's face, and his dad's like, "If that's what you want to wear, it's not what I would wear, but if that's what you want to wear, that's okay." So Jacob gets so excited, and he wears it to school the next day. And Emily, his best friend, who's been supportive of this the whole time, was just so surprised by his dress, loved his dress. And they're sitting in the classroom, and the boy that's been bullying Jacob goes, raises his hand and asks the teacher, why is Jacob wearing a dress? And the teacher goes, that's something that Jacob wants to wear. That's what he feels comfortable in, just like what you feel comfortable in what you wear. And she goes, a long time ago, girls couldn't even wear pants, and now look at what's happening now. And it was nice because the teacher kind of brings it in. And I think this would be a good text to use because it does bring a different perspective on gender norms where it's not normal for a boy to wear a dress, and it could bring up a lot of good conversation in the classroom if used correctly. But I thought it was a really good book. But I think it could be a tricky one to bring up. It might be a good one to talk with maybe an administrator about before, because you never know when kids go home. They can say, well, my teacher told me I can wear a dress to school tomorrow, and you don't know how parents would really react to that. But those are my ideas.